Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, for another strikingly exciting episode right here today, the day of days, on Langra Skea. In the southern half of the map, we shall be watching HolyHammer fighting for the Soviet Union, and the 210th Rifle Division going up against GeneralGiap fighting for the Germans, for Deutschland, for the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division. Once more, it would seem. Grenadiers following up here on the Pioneers. Conscripts rolling out here. HolyHammer looking to be rushing towards the fuel point, perhaps the munitions actually, although it looks like he got a bit too excited right there. A bit too excited for his own socialist good. And there we go. The Grenadiers arriving with rifles in hand. Looks like he's taking a rather slow and rather thorough approach towards the western fuel point, not letting one point go uncaptured. In the name of Comrade Stalin, more Grenadiers there on the way for Giap. Noting here, doctrines are Jaeger Infantry, Spearhead and Assault Support versus HolyHammer's Soviet Shock Army, Guard Rifle Combined Arms Tactics and Guard Motor Coordination Tactics. That's a bit different than what you're used to seeing. Should be interesting. Grenadiers moving out, conscripts moving up, Communists moving west. One conscript squad detached to the right hand side. Looks like the Soviet will be largely western. Or at least what we have there will be in the west, since the Germans are mostly focusing in the east and centre. Although we might see the Grenadiers being dispatched over there. MG42 following up. Pioneers running for the small house. Slightly realising they can't actually fire back. There we go. Grenadiers versus conscript, putting up position behind an overturned tree. Although Yuri takes the first shot.
Grenadiers here!
G42 out, 3rd squad of conscripts out. For HolyHammer, whom I do believe is a Dawn of War II veteran player.
Yeah?
If I'm not frightfully mistaken. Continuing his advance, setting up mines already pretty early on. Lovely, lovely. More Grenadiers on the way here for Giap.
Territory is out of contact.
And there we go, Pioneers popping out of the house, hoping to cause a bit of havoc behind Soviet lines. But the conscripts are quick to pursue. They're not going to accept any shenanigans there from the Germans. More conscripts arriving down south.
We have a fresh Grenadier squad.
And there we go, the 4th Grenadier squad arriving. What shall happen next here for Giap?
Contact with enemy. Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Pioneers trying here for a bit of harassment, but the conscripts are really not up for that.
This is not German. Grenadiers under fire!
Going for the German munitions point. Bold play, and there we go. Light machine gun on the way for Giap's Grenadier. Holding up there. And Molotov going off on the doorstep. Pioneers running up for the fires. Heinz catching the fires and burning up in the process.
Contact! Infantry!
It's a bit of house play here by the two sides. And there we go, the light machine and gewehr up, firing right at the house, going to do a little less damage there than normally. So they're less effective against garrison troops. And these pushing up. Mortar on the way now for Giap.
You have orders? We're ready.
And MG42 being hunted down by combat engineers. Pioneers fully on the retreat.
A fresh mortar crew has arrived.
And there we go, 3 Grenadiers, MG42 and a mortar. Pretty heavy tier 1 here from Giap. Molotov's going off, looks like he's finally researched them, Mr. HolyHammer.
Yeah? Grenadiers here!
Need to be a bit careful.
What do you need?
A bit overextended at the moment.
We're ready.
Looks like he's making a run there for the MG42, like going to try and get off a Molotov, and there we go. Also rather climbed up, so there we go. Doing quite a bit of damage there with the Molotov, almost wiping out the entire MG crew, but retreating in the face
Awaiting orders.
of vicious German resistance.
Production upgrade accomplished.
And there we go, checked up. Medics up there for HolyHammer. The holiest of hammers.
Gottenhimmel, it's cold. Grenadiers reporting.
Might there be? Yes, indeed, another light machine gun on the way here for Giap's troops.
Standing by. Kill the Scheiße grenade.
Molotov here, but decides against it. Decides against it. And there we go, like to mechanized company is up. Let's see a scout car, might see a half track.
We have
Panzer
liberated
Grenadier.
this sector.
All depends on what Giap fancies. More mines going up there, lovely. He's actually taking some time to mine up approaches. So far, mining up the western half of the map to protect his territories there.
Getting a bit loud here.
Not a bad idea. Step away from the mines, though, in case the Germans decide to fire off a rifle grenade, in which case you don't want to be near it when the rifle grenade hits.
Freezing here.
No building going on here, interestingly enough. Figured he might have tried for that, and there we go. Scout car is now on the way here for Giap.
Scout car has arrived.
We have secured this sector.
Pioneer squad!
They're attacking!
Making another play for the fuel point in the west. Conscript's going to attack right across open ground. That is generally not considered a grand idea. Well, in this case, he is lucky that Giap is actually moving about his Grenadier squad. That's a bit of a bad idea, but looks like in this case he was able to slightly get away with it.
We are ready.
Nice breakthrough here, causing a bit of havoc in HolyHammer's lines.
Yes.
And this Molotov really didn't do much against the
Sides. You have
Grenadiers right there. Bit of a shame, bit of a shame. Looks like more units are arriving. Shock troopers have been sent in, so that means he's gone for the Soviet shock army doctrine. Like to punch speed bargain, moving up. No doctrine as of yet for Giap. And there we go. Mine going off, almost wiping out all the pioneers. Splendid, splendid.
Ready.
5 grenades following up. That last conscript needs to get out of there. Oh, never mind. He is dead. Bit of a shame there, bit of a shame. Now it's up to the shock troopers to carry the front. And there we go. Nice grenade. Partially sorts out the issue.
Don't let us freeze here.
Did you need something?
More mortar fire now. Actually getting a sniper out. Giap going for a very heavy tier 1, only supported lightly by his tier 2 for the time being. Definitely interesting. Shock troopers in the way, and there we go. Grenadiers quickly retreating, realizing they're outnumbered and outgunned in this situation.
Everyone, Grenadiers ready.
Mortars need to get into the heat before it freezes to death. Tongues stuck to the mortar tube for whatever reasons.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
You could also consider perhaps him getting an autocannon up for the scout car. Bit of extra firepower. But conscripts rushing up, traps looking for throwing off a mortar grenade. Well, not mortar grenade, but anti-tank grenade. But without any luck, the scout car is too fast on the roads. There we go, conscript squad ambushed here by the Grenadiers and the sniper.
Enemy forces
They're
are
going to be taking
securing
a serious
the
amount of
sector.
firepower here. And shock troops pushing up the centre, getting several mortar crew members. Conscripts forced up on the right hand side. Support weapon company going up for HolyHammer.
We need order.
And a Mittlere Schützenpanzerwagen on the way for Giap. Grenadiers dropping like flies.
Our supply lines.
And grenades not achieving a frightful large amount. Sneaking up through the deep snow. Not bad, not bad. Going to get off a Molotov there on the MG42. Well done, although he should have thrown it closer to the windows. They're going to be less affected by it, but nonetheless it will have some effect.
Disrupted.
There we go, forced to vacate the premises. They have been evicted by the Soviet army.
Standing by.
over to HolyHammer. Getting a field gun out now to deal with the fascist motor pool.
Conditions clear. The blizzard is gone.
The sniper finding his line of fire obscured.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Ready as we can be.
Field gun soon here.
Units awaiting orders.
And getting some
Enemy
shot
have cut off a sector.
machine guns up for conscripts. That's definitely going to help a bit as well. And of course, got the mortar firing merrily away.
Unit can get something. Ready, sir.
Grenadiers running into a bit of trouble here with the submachine guns.
Comrade.
Forced to retreat. Not a happy situation, comrades. And there we go, the German Liverpool is swift to respond. Flampanzerwagen now also ready here for Giap, who's only got the field gun and perhaps an anti-tank grenades in hopes of stopping it. On the other hand, right now, an anti-tank grenade combined with the field gun will definitely do the trick. There we go. Field gun needs to fire. Fire, 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 and... oh, never mind. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, it seems, Mr. Fedorov.
More of our troops have been lost.
But there we go, actually firing through the thinner bits of the hedgerows there, it would seem. And there we go, Flampanzerwagen kaput, and one man getting one hell of a ride through the entire snowy side. Although he's probably dead and thus not able to enjoy it as much as possible. Then again, probably not an awful lot much to enjoy about that. Shock troopers holding up nicely, but this now continues to prove a problem. 10-11 kills now.
Men have arrived.
Lost another conscript score. Things are looking rather bad here for HolyHammer. He needs some more infantry. And he also needs to do something about the things that Giap has, because Giap is rather currently doing his very best to punish HolyHammer's infantry.
Skirmishes have arrived.
Which is definitely not a bad idea. There we go, mechanized armor company are going
Our
up.
territory is falling into enemy hands.
Conscripts on the pursuit of the Grenadiers.
Defend this territory.
There you go, one poor sort down. More to go.
Supply sector under attack.
The enemy has us ready.
Mortar slightly pulling back. There go Grenadiers, both sides, fortunately two, but the conscripts will have the advantage up close. Now, and there goes Scout car ready. Field gun moving up. Might be able to catch the scout car here and finish the job. That would leave Giap certainly a bit slower. And there we go. Field gun gets the scout car, leaving it a smouldering wreck. And leaving also the sniper quite exposed to being hunted down here if it's not careful.
Taking losses.
Further engagement up in the centre, Grenadiers and Pioneers supported by the mortar. Shock troops following up on this mess. And very close to having the mechanized armor company ready.
It's done.
He could initially try for an Su-76, get himself out some light artillery that way, begin blasting Giap as quickly as possible, and also be prepared for any kind of armor and support with a field gun. That would be one way, but likely he's going to go for the Su-85. But shock troopers now on the move. There's very little to actually oppose them at the moment. That could definitely prove to the advantage. Mortar creating caught in the middle of the road and suffering for it. And what is this? Panzerkampfwagen 4 is out for Giap.
Sector is at risk.
So already here the Panzers are bereit. In support of the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division, likely supported by the 7th Panzer Division or some such.
Conscripts here.
Standing by.
There we go. Shock troopers pushed away. Veterans in one sniper, by the way, and there we go, mines up, continually putting down mines, good, good. And there we go, the Su-85 on the way as well.
Your orders, comrade.
No deep surprises.
Aim fire on this position. How can we help?
Enemy machine gun.
Conscripts rushing
The
ahead.
enemy has our range.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Though, going to be a dangerous situation here. Lots of grenadiers, and now we see he's gone for Jaeger infantry. We can hear the resounding snaps of the Gewehr 43s.
Ready.
That's definitely going to make things a lot more punishing for HolyHammer's infantry, which rather seems to be the primary mission here that GeneralGiap is currently on, which is basically again punishing
Losing supplies to the enemy.
HolyHammer's infantry, and he's definitely going to make it easier now. There's only an H-85, which is rather limited in effect against infantry as well.
Watch out.
Which means that if GeneralGiap can clear out the infantry support for it, the H-85 is going to be pretty much a large, fat target. So some H-76s would be a good idea. They begin to be able to lay down some artillery fire, which would definitely make it a lot harder for GeneralGiap to be able to make any attacks, and might also be able to catch a sniper. That cloaked up bastard.
Smoke out! Remember him!
MD-42 left for the thankless task up there on the right hand side. Shock Troopers making a push up here the centre, but need to be seriously careful, and there we go. On the run, while conscripts are hunting down the sniper. Oh, they got him! A bit of a blow there to GeneralGiap, but at the same time he definitely made a lot of damage with him, so not as much as had been happening early on. But these conscripts need to seriously get out there right now, and the H-85 also needs to pull back before it's too late. And now we see a heavy mortar arriving for
You have orders.
HolyHammer, the 120mm mortar, with its two tiny wheels.
Man down.
And the grenadiers with the Gewehr 43s and light machine guns.
You need something built?
Caution. Lizard. We've been spotted.
And we're seeing tactical movement. We're actually seeing someone use tactical movement. I think he's rushing at the H-85 to Panzerfaust it.
Supplies.
Well played there. So rare to actually see tactical movement used in any of the doctrine it's available in, so that's just splendid. Magnificent even.
Water here. We're under attack. What do you need?
We are losing territory.
It is such an underused ability in my opinion.
Enemy contact.
There we go. Panzer 4 taking fire from the H-85, already down to half health. Not looking good there. H-70 field gun could consider bombarding the grenadiers with a quick light artillery barrage. They are rather lined up for easy targets. Another sniper out. We see the Panzer 4 going down. And we see here the sniper's actually being covered currently by the smouldering wreck of the Panzer 4, where the billowing black smoke makes it harder for anything to see what's on the other side, allowing the sniper to escape rather quickly there. Even in death, the Panzer 4 still serves, albeit probably a bit unwillingly.
Standing by.
So HolyHammer is still able to bite back, but
Assault gun ready for action.
he's still on the back foot.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Careful. Don't watch up.
Still wish he would use that light artillery barrage just even once. I think he could do a lot of damage with a well-placed one.
Enemy contact. Capture complete.
We've got gunners advancing, but coming under fire from DHK. 12.7 heavy machine gun in the base bunker. There we go. Grenadiers rushed off.
Mortar crew ready.
Another Panzer 4 out for GeneralGiap.
Tank destroyer here. Engage!
And H-85 being repaired once more. Having suffered a bit from those damn Panzerfausts.
We are taking losses.
We have secured the area.
Shock troops here.
Assault gun ready for action.
We are ready to go, comrades.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Bombarding a lot with his heavy mortar. I think he might just want to have it, support his other offensive operations. Having it auto fire, which in which case it actually gets a lot more accurate if you just barrage it. Just a little fun fact there. But time to pop over to GeneralGiap.
Grenadiers. Grenadiers reporting.
Another pair of Gewehr 43s.
Is gone.
Doesn't look like he's upgraded any of his troops with ambush camouflage. I'm a bit disappointed in that.
Ready!
There you go, veterans, you 3 conscripts. That's definitely bad news. Another sniper looks like Giap is actually going very heavy on the anti-infantry side of things. He's going for additional snipers to basically punish his opponent at HolyHammer as hard as possible. In that sense, he's actually making some very interesting reactions. He's not going for armor for doing that, but of course infantry. Probably due to the H-35, meaning it's going to have less of an effect with armor, at least for the time being.
Yes.
So in that regard, H-76s will actually have an increased chance of actually doing some serious damage if there'd only be one Panzer IV to stop them in support with the H-35 and the field guns. The Panzer IV would have a limited effect even against the H-76s. Grenadiers a bit here lined up against the snow wall by the submachine gunning shock troops. And there we go, forced to run the hell out of there. And conscripts quick to flank up here on the MD-42, well done, and since the veteran clear course, much more accurate, much more lethal. We might even see the MD-42 go down, which would be quite the coup for him if he can get the MD-42 and turn it against Giap, but no such luck, at least this time around.
Our opponents are seizing the sector.
Trying his everything to actually ensure this H-35 does not get fully repaired. Nicely done there, Panzer moving up and coming within the fire range of the field gun, unless of course it can't see because it doesn't have tracking on. Again, tracking is a lovely ability as well. Snipers awfully close to each other, awfully close. Heavy mortar being forced away. And there you go, actually seeing a lot of artillery barrage. Now interesting enough of all times, not when there's squad that easy to hit, but when a pair of snipers are. That's a bit more of a risk. And there we go, Conscript's going to do the trick instead. And we see here that Giap, of course, is quick to realise what the hell is going on and retreat his troops. Conscripts versus Grenadiers. The Grenadiers, they do have an awful lot more firepower with the Gewehr 43s and the light machine guns. And in this case, they do quickly dodge the Molotov.
Grenadiers.
Panzer IV.
The sharpshooter.
HolyHammer, though, is rather on the back foot again. He needs something to pressure out, something to put a bit of a boot to all the infantry that Giap has. And again, that's not quite happening because he's playing with the H-35 when he probably should be playing with the H-76. So actually should have gone for the tank of the battalion command and gun himself some tanks, something a bit more mobile that could throw Giap's forces a bit more into disarray. Rather, the current playstyle that HolyHammer's playing at is a lot easier to contain for Giap. In particular, as he's now increasingly upping up the firepower for each of his infantry units, which is always something to consider. And there we go. Lots of snipers, lots of Gewehr 43 Grenadiers. Dunkel for the promotion, yeah. But let's head over to the mid-game analysis. Current situation, HolyHammer is on the back foot for the reasons mentioned. Giap, on the other hand, is certainly slowly but surely gaining the upper hand. He's been able to basically keep the attrition up rather severely, using snipers, Grenadiers with increasingly large amounts of firepower once they're getting light machine guns, and Gewehr 43s, making things a lot more painful for his opponent's infantry, and of course that's what he wants to play at. He's of course also got the Panzer IVs, but they're having less an effect due to the H-35 and the field gun. But on the other hand, they are also essentially what ensures that HolyHammer doesn't rush ahead too far, because they can quickly move in and punish, leaving most of the fighting to the infantry, which of course he supports well with mortars, machine guns and snipers, and of course he's also got them heavily equipped, and of course can even throw in a tactical movement if things become necessary. So Giap so far playing very aggressively with his infantry, playing quite nicely with his infantry, and basically playing where it suits him, which This is basically punishing his opponent, ensuring that HolyHammer doesn't have a lot of resources for other things, like getting more S-35s or some S-76s again. Then the reason why I suggest in the first place he actually gets some S-76s quicker, so you can have some more constant artillery barrages that way, hoping to catch Giap's troops, but also still have something against the tanks. Again, there are all of these sort of things going on. The heavy mortar so far having limited success, partly because I suspect he's actually constantly trying to barrage with it, and it's not always the best choice to having a mortar barrage. Usually you get a lot more out of them if you actually just let them fire themselves, and they tend to be a lot more accurate that way. Barraging is pretty much when you rather have a suspicion there's a concentrated in a position, then you barrage. You don't usually just barrage away at anything, because again, that's not effective use of your mortar. Have it fire away regularly and you end up with something perhaps a bit more like this. Something to keep in mind there, a little trick on mortars, if you will. Again, looking at HolyHammer, he's also got a decent force, but again, it is bleeding out an awful lot. And again, the thing is, manpower is the most important resource, otherwise you can have all the fuel you want in the world, but you can't do shit with it. And that's rather what's hurting him right now. He's got plenty of fuel, he could easily get several S-35s with the fuel he has, but again, the manpower losses inflicted on him by Giap is rather limiting the fact that he can't do much with it, because again, he's constantly draining our manpower. So in that sense, again, it's a war of attrition, and it's one that Giap so far is winning quite nicely. And again, it's something that HolyHammer needs to break out of. He needs to begin inflicting some severe losses, and in that sense, you know, something like artillery and again S-76s would be quite handsome, because S-76s could support the S-85 as well as soon as any armor arrives, keep behind it, blast away at the panzer force, and that way probably take them out quickly. So there is a dual reason for doing it like that. But anyways, back to the fight here. HolyHammer needs to break out. Giap needs to keep him basically contained. There we go. Shock troopers versus veterans, 3 grenadiers, and the veterans and 3 grenadiers are quite nasty with fearful because not machine guns. The shock troopers here having troubles. But there we go, grenade, and we actually see the grenades being pushed away. But we do see that the response force, the armoured response reserve, is moving in. That is the panzer force. Quick to contain anything the infantry can't handle. Well done there, well played. That is how you use armour on the defensive. Keep them as reserve and then counter-attack wherever needed. And there we go. Well played, well played. Grenadiers are running into trouble getting Molotov. Looks like HolyHammer might have some luck here with his conscripts, but then the snipers quickly put a bit of an incision right there.
Receiving fire!
Conscript taking some nice losses here from the Grenadiers. Snipers here getting blasted a bit.
Sniper ready! Awaiting orders!
And conscripts gone off.
Desert conditions are now in effect.
Grenadiers, ready? You found something?
Now he's actually getting ambush. Splendid. Splendid.
The enemy is taking our territory.
I've wanted to see that for some time.
The enemy has driven a wedge in our lines.
3rd Panzer IV on the way. Again, Giap is on the other hand having a lot more firepower and a lot more manpower, because again he's not suffering a lot of losses. S-85 rolling up. Lots of fire here, lots of losses. Conscripts simply getting shredded. That is very bad.
Taking fire.
And again, that heavy mortar is not achieving an awful lot. Grenadiers advancing, snipers following up. Another usage of tactical movement. The MD-42 rushing up as well. Panzer IV's advancing. Cleverly played there. Mortar needs to get out of there, and we also see, in fact, he quickly pulls back as well in return. Apparently feeling a bit less confident about what be waiting for him. Then again, not before he managed to cut off the left-hand side here for HolyHammer. The bastard.
Pioneers awaiting orders. Sword is succumbing to the cold.
Both snipers close to death.
Grenadiers!
Looks like they will pull through.
Machine gun turret has been installed.
The 3 Panzer force, a serious armoured force once we're going to deal with harassment on the right flank. Again fulfilling the role of an armoured reserve. And shock troopers pushed off the field because of it.
Our drivetrain is damaged. We've slowed to a crawl.
Veterans in 1 for the heavy mortar. That could be quite well used if you can spot any positions with it. Shoot off a precision shot and wipe something out. And looks like the shock troopers died at the hands of the Panzer force.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Troops should advance.
Blizzard is passing.
Advance, comrades. There we go. And immediately again dropping out a lot of death, and looks like we might be seeing us scraping around there and catching quite a few of the bastards, but not enough. Sadly, he did it in a way that allowed Giap the most amount of time to actually react to what the hell was going on and actually shrink in time. Had he not done that, though, he'd probably lost, you know, all of the infantry forces right there. There's 2 Grenadier squads and a Pioneer squad. So of course it makes sense, and there we go. The other H-85 now arriving. And looks like the skirmishes got shot down. H-85 quickly advancing. Very close to entering, and that's a damage increase. If it could actually bloody well hit anything, Yuri. There we go, actually using tracking. Splendid. Splendid. There we go, Panzer IV almost wiped out. Trying to hunt them down, but oh, there we go. Another tactical movement. Yeah, once more charging ahead in the hopes of panzerfausting. Certainly not messing about. Certainly not playing passively, this Giap. Some poor bastard getting killed right there. And again, potential fuel. HolyHammer having limited success, but again, the amount of losses that Giap continues to inflict and the amount of losses he suffers is rather not quite equal, which is rather to the advantage of Giap rather than HolyHammer. At the Immortals really not having much luck so far.
We can't take this!
It's done. Our opponents are seizing the sector.
Sniper here.
And back to HolyHammer. Short on everything but enemies. For the time being, comrades.
It is now under our control.
Close air support is available.
And of course, the thing to note about Jaegers where they were actually an infantry unit, not just something rather specific, but in full divisional unit. Light infantry, specifically more meant for assaulting harder positions, you know, rough terrain and whatnot. Seem to have a large equipment of light submachine guns and such. So a little fun fact there. Looks like he finally got himself an MD-42 over there, but not able to capture it. Bit of a shame, bit of a shame.
Mortar ready for orders.
Good work, comrades. This now belongs to us. The enemy has cut off a sector.
He could kick himself another HD5 if he so fancied, or some HD76s. He could get himself 2 of them that way, actually be able to get quite a bit of volume down. Shoot off a lot of stuff. Kill a lot of stuff, and there we go. Quickly securing the MD-42 once more, and then Armistice Vaterlanders.
Yes, comrade.
H-85 rolling ahead. Rather small force being sent in for that. Also a bit separate.
Tank destroyer here.
Dangerous, dangerous.
Assault
But of course, tracking will certainly help in spotting out things before it's too late.
shock troops have
Can't
arrived.
get in trouble. Another shock to the score. I don't think he needs that at the moment.
Falling into enemy hands.
Particularly with the amount of high-range firepower we are seeing from the enemy. Conscript's getting absolutely shredded. Barely any chance of striking back here. Retreat, retreat.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Heavily limited success here for HolyHammer now. Mortar once more get the MG42, but again comes under fire here. This time from the two pairs of grenadiers for Gewehr 43s, having them absolutely pinned down. Ultimately forcing them away.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
And actively upgrade some of them with ambush camouflage.
Troops awaiting deployment.
Fancy that, fancy that.
Sniper fire!
We have an isolated sector.
And the snipers just continue killing away. One having reached veterancy too. Still not much in terms of light artillery barrages. Bit of a shame. That is one of the advantages of forcing field gunners. They can quickly use this improvised artillery to quickly catch your opponent's infantry off guard. Now the H-85 is left to handle things here as the front utterly collapses. Giap pushes forwards with his rather vicious infantry.
Supply sector under attack.
Ready! Enemy contact! Ready!
The conscripts moving ahead, H-85 is following up. But again, going to push straight into Giap's front line where all the snipers, all the Gewehr 43s and everything such lies, which rather limits the amount of losses he can avoid, obviously. It looks like west flank collapses. Those were the weakest grenadiers. And there you go, wiped out. A small victory, but can he keep it up? Panther 4 getting bombarded, getting blasted, burned, singed and whatnot. You might even see one Panther 4 down. And there we go, Panther 4 kaput, blown up. Shock troopers advancing, but they are getting exposed to serious amounts of fire. And they're going off, but they might go down. The snipers continuing there. Two veterans, two shock troopers wiped out.
Ours! It is ours!
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Close to getting the sniper, but no cigar.
Squad replenished!
AT gun. Shock troops here.
Rather nasty situation here for Giap. Oh no, Giap from HolyHammer. And an airstrike going in. Now they're going to be the Stuka anti-tank run. Actually doing a bit of damage. Nasty that. With its 37mm cannons. The Kanonenvogel unleashes death. And looks like a bit of tracking here was used. Wonderful, wonderful, but he might be sending a bit too far ahead. Nothing to cover it. Second strafing run does considerably less, if anything.
We have found the enemy! Squad standing by!
300 points stand between us and defeat.
More Panzer 4. And feel free to send in a lot more replays. I've barely been getting any lately, and the ones I have been more mundane novice material. As always, as I keep saying, just send it in. It's a lot more likely to get shown if you actually send it in if you don't. And the more the merrier for me it is, because then I actually have more choice of finding something good. And I will barely get anyone at all. So please keep sending in replays. I've barely been getting any lately.
Being cut.
Keep your heads down! Okay, that's the last one.
Another heavy mortar out here for HolyHammer. Panzerfaust there on the H-85. And looks like Giap is getting ready for one hell of a assault again. Tactical movement. He's quite fond of using that ability. Not that he shouldn't be.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
And there go, looks like a larger assault going in here. Panzer force moving in from either side. SU-5, veterancy free by the way. Veterancy free SU-85. That's impressive. But now too late. Simply getting outmaneuvered, getting outnumbered. And of course the SU-5 simply can't do anything with a damaged engine. Even veterancy free, it's pretty much game over right there. And right now it's pretty much a massacre.
A squad of infantry has been killed. Death before retreat. We need to re-establish our supply lines.
Might as well speed things up a bit.
More of our troops have been lost.
And there we go, game over. HolyHammer lost. He went down to a rather vicious strategy which rather aimed at whittling down his infantry rather severely enough, thus limiting his ability to get anything else. And HolyHammer rather fell for it because he rather went for the natural service function, causes lots of SU-5s, but again, he couldn't get it without manpower, and his SU-5s were extremely limited since the main point of Giap's force was not the tanks. They were just there to assist. The main point, the centerpiece of his force was the infantry. That was where he lavished all the attention. And that is rather what HolyHammer should have been focusing on. In particular with the snipers out, he should have gotten something else, something that could much more devastate the infantry again. He should have either gone for tanks or he should have gone for some SU-66. Even like a HolyHammer would have been a great idea. Possibly a pair of those could have done a serious amount of damage instead. He just opted for the SU-5s, and that rather turned out to be his doom. In this case, he misidentified the main threat, or at least I would suspect he misidentified the main threat here of the force, or at least he played by a force he really couldn't, adapt to either way. He failed to deal with the infantry in a serious manner, and that turned out to be Giap's victory point here, and thus he won the game. Rather about where it goes to. Again, Giap basically outplaying him, in a sense. That would at least be my suspicion, and certainly, HolyHammer not quite responding to the manner they should have been. So, overall, nice use of his doctrine. I mean, he pretty much used everything. Ambush, camouflage, although we didn't see so much of that do any good, but Gewehr 43s. Although they could have used interrogate, but, those tactical movement actually made a difference for him. We also saw, some aircraft strafing runs, although again, not so much there. On the other hand, we saw what? Shock troopers, mortar, submachine guns, and of course also the strafing run. If he'd gotten himself a howitzer, that might also have proven helpful, but might also have proven a bit easier target for Giap to quickly rush in and take out. But again, just remember the SU-5 is not always the key to victory. Sometimes, there are other units that might, help you a bit more on the way. So there you go. Hope you learned a thing or two, got some inspiration. Otherwise, feel free to send in me some replays, provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.